And welcome again to my virtual campfire, everyone. You know, the largest used RV dealer in the country is a company that I've done business with for years. I've known about them for decades. They literally sell thousands of used RVs every year. And as a business model, they guarantee, get this, to sell your RV for your price or you pay them nothing. How's that for a deal? And while PPL Motorhomes is known for its used RVs, it should be pointed out that they're also really good for RV parts and accessories and service. Most people think of PPL as a dealership that sells used RVs on consignment, and you are. But that parts department is unbelievable, and the service. And when you have the parts there to make those used RVs that you're trying to sell, make them a little bit better, nicer to get more money from the buyers, you're able to do that. And the service department too. I think I need to talk more about the service and parts than I have been, but I don't know. Just saying.
Well, it's true because we can get you tow dollies for the ones who want the motorhomes. We can get you hitches for the ones that need one for a fifth wheel hitch or travel trailer hitch. You want to upgrade. You don't want to, you want your new mattress. You want new tires. You want slide toppers. You want just a basic starter kit, your sewer hoses and what chemicals. We have millions. We have a couple of $1 million of investments of parts that we have sitting in our inventory right now. Air conditioners. We're one of the largest providers to customers for air conditioners. And guess what?
That business is really good right now.
It always is. It always is. It always is. And so we do a lot of wholesale business to a lot of these mobile repair guys that come and fix. They come to us. So we have a huge parts department for our customers at all of our locations. New Braunfels got a smaller location, but with limited space. But our Cleburne location, our Summerfield, Florida location, our Oklahoma City, I mean, millions of dollars in parts.
Yeah, and it's a one-stop shop. That's what I like. Now, I do have to ask you this because it's something that we haven't covered. Because you're selling used RVs and some of them are in excellent condition, like almost new, and some of them are not as good, do you sell the RVs in as-is condition? You know, if I write a check, I buy the thing, you know, it's mine. Or are there any steps that are taken to prevent me from, you know, rolling out of the parking lot and having something completely fall apart?
Well, we have what's called a make-ready fee that we pass on to our customers. We don't own the units. Majority of our units, 90 to 95% of our units we have on our lot, a seller owns. And so we ask every customer if they want to participate or if they want to purchase what we call it's a 19-point inspection. It's a make-ready list. Some people don't understand it. Some people get it. Some people just don't want to do it. And we have those options for them. We encourage it. Probably about 92% of the customers do that. 92 to 95% on an average will pay for the make-ready fee. Now, what this make-ready fee does, let me give you an example of this. If I was to go buy a unit from an individual, I have no idea what's working and what's not working. Okay, I don't know if the refrigerator is getting cooled down to the right temperature. I don't know if the water pump is working. Is the air conditioner cooling down to the right temperature that it's supposed to do? You know, we check all this. We pressurize test. We do an LP check, which is the most important thing you have to do on these things. Make sure there's no gas leaks. So we offer a 19-point inspection to every one of our customers. Some people don't want to pay for it. We think it's a huge mistake. We try to not do that because this is the way I look at it. That small fee, you're hiring a technician, a RV technician to go through that unit to make sure those 19 points are working. And if they are not working, our first option is to go to the seller and ask them to repair it. So if they leave out of here and take it as is, they have to pay for those repairs. So we all know if you've bought a new one, if you bought a used one, I've had hundreds of air conditioners, brand new units that go out on the walkthrough line as we're delivering the coach. It just happens.
Right.
What this does is that gives the security to the buyer that, okay, I only paid this. And then if they have any issues or problems, we go back to the seller and ask them to pay for it. And a lot of them have an extended service contract, so it doesn't cost them anything either.
So let me ask you this. Let me, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I want to find out this. I find that RV over there and I want to buy it. So we decide, everything looks good. I said, you know what? I want to get this inspection. What do you call it? A make-ready inspection,
It's
right?
a make-ready inspection, and then wanting to see if there's anything that needs to be repaired.
Okay. So, but if there is, and I've already bought it, or I'm right there getting ready to consummate the deal, and you find something, and the seller goes, "I ain't doing it. I'm not paying that." Or what happens?
We go back to the buyer. We go back to the buyer who's buying the unit and say, "Okay, the seller's not repairing this. Do you want to pay for the repair, or do you still want to buy the unit?" They have.
So if they want to back out, they could back out.
Absolutely. Okay. Based upon that, or and sometimes the buyer says, "You know what, I'll pay for the repair because I'm getting such a good price," but we give that buyer that choice. And if the choice goes, "Well, you know what, if the seller's not going to pay for that air conditioner to be fixed, I don't want it," we say, "Let's see if we can find you something else."
I think, just from my personal point of view, is that that's really a good idea, not just for the buyer though, Kevin. It's a good idea for PPL, because at least you offer it to them. If I, as a buyer, say, "Nope, I take it as is," and I go out for the weekend and something breaks, and I get mad, well, you get mad at yourself because you could have gone and done it. And then I can imagine that person that's angry, "Well, they could have done it too." You can't, I don't think PPL can do it with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of RVs in all different kinds of conditions. You can't invest that kind of time for that 10% fee.
Let's look at, you look at it and that's what we have to explain to our buyers, people who are buying the unit. If I'm doing 10% and you're buying this unit for $30,000, I'm only making $3,000, and air conditioner cost half that. So I can't, that's why we offer the customers the opportunity to do that, because we can't, because of what we charge our sellers at 10%, we can't afford, we would never stay in business doing it that way. So we say, "Hey, here's an opportunity." Basically, it covers our costs for the technician to go through it. That's all it's doing. And so now you have a technician going through it and telling, and then they'll tell us what's wrong, then we'll get it repaired. But if they don't repair it, then we'll let you know, "Hey, the refrigerator's out. Seller doesn't want to pay for it. Do you still want to buy the unit?" Or we'll say, "Okay, Mr. Seller, they don't want to buy it. Because your refrigerator's not working, and we're going to come up to this problem." So we'll try to help the seller along on some things. But that's what that make-ready fee is for. We want to protect both parties, and see what we can do to have them to come together. Like, that's what we're doing, to make sure that everybody has a good experience. We want the seller to have a good experience and the buyer to have a good experience.
I've had a couple of people that have said, "So they work for the seller." And I'm like, "Yes, and they work for the buyer." I mean, the seller brings their RV to be sold, consigned at PPL, but without the buyer, you can't make any money. You have to put the two together. And so what you do, I think I'm serious, it's a valuable service to people that don't want to buy new, that recognize the benefits of buying used, and the sellers that go, "I don't want to mess with all that RV trader and the dealers calling the people not," I think you do an incredible service to put these people together. But for someone that just says, "They just work for the seller," well, that's probably not a very good customer for PPL. I mean, you got to see how the whole deal works. It's a win-win.
It is. It is. I mean, and we're working, one day they may want to use us to sell that RV, and then maybe they might think a little different, because then then maybe they'll think they're working for them. We work for the seller. We work for the buyers. We're like you say, we're trying to mirror the two together. And we do a lot of things that people don't see on the back end with RV Trader and internet websites, and seeing how we can attract those buyers. And we attract buyers from all over the country for this unit, which is, It's expensive to be able to market to those people on that, but we do a good job and we do an effective job, and we're going to continue to push the envelope for both. We advertise for the sellers, we advertise to the sellers, and without our sellers, you're right, that is our new manufacturer. People who want to sell their unit, we don't sell new units, and every customer that comes to PPL that wants to sell their unit, they have to really understand that their unit is unique. There's only probably a very few units that I have the same year model, the same color on my lot. Every piece is unique on our lot.
Now, I think it's important to repeat what Kevin said. PPL sells used RVs. But unlike RV dealers who sell new RVs and you can consign your RV through that new RV dealer, that new RV dealer may have an advantage to sell the new RVs because they make more money on them than selling your RV. Because PPL only sells used RVs and they only get paid when they find a buyer who's ready to pay your price. They work really hard, really hard to find those buyers, and they got a lot of them. You know what? Hundreds of thousands of those buyers visit the PPL website every single month. They really do. If you're tired of the hassles of trying to sell your RV, I invite you to contact PPL. They are honest, they're incredibly transparent and reputable, and they are the RV dealer who guarantees they'll sell your RV for your price or you don't pay. They're also a great place to get a good handle on what the current used RV market is doing. Check them out if you would at pplmotorhomes.com. You can also connect with them and with my personal contact at PPL at rvdealersitrust.com. That's rvdealersitrust.com.